It's a game of two halves, but either way, you lose. Three key areas, that of social protection, health and education, make up 80% of government spending, €4 out of every 5. Social protection is the government's biggest outlay with an annual budget of over 20 billion. As there will be no reduction in primary social welfare payments, savings of 475 million will be paid for by standardising child benefit, a cut of 6 weeks in the fuel allowance, changes to the one-parent family payment, and basing the payment week for job seekers benefit on a 5-day rather than a 6-day week. And of course, the rebate employers receive for statutory redundancy payments goes from a generous 60% down to 15%. Moving on to education, €7 in every 10 we spend are ring-fenced for pay and pensions, and under Croke Park they cannot be touched. So the 132.3 million of cuts next year will come from an increase of 250 in the third level registration fee, a 2% reduction in core funding for higher education, new postgraduate students will pay more fees and get less grants, a 2% reduction in capitation grants, a cut to secondary schools allocation for guidance counsellors, and there's more in the detail too. So let's move on to health. There's a planned 543 million cut. But you see, this is on top of this year's deficit, which has to be carried forward, and that's somewhere between 150 and 200 million. Half of the health budget goes on pay and pensions, but they are hoping for a reduction in staff numbers and payroll costs, and that's going to save 145 million. The monthly threshold for drug refunds is going to be increased from 120 to 132. The introduction of measures to reduce the price of prescription medication is there, and a big ticket item, raising 350 million from the pricing and sale of public beds to private patients. That's going to be huge. They hope to make 350 million there. Other spending cuts are in agriculture, transport and justice, including, by the way, the closure of 31 Garda stations, bringing the whole thing to 1.4 billion in the spending cuts.